What is up, my peoples? We are back with top 5 horror movie monsters you won't see coming. Yes. And this is brought to you by Top 5 Scary Videos. If I remember, I will put the link in the original video down below, because I always forget. I don't know why, but I do. But let's get right into it. And if you're new, wait, how many of you are horror fans? Tell me, smash the like button if you're a horror fan. Or, yeah. And what's your favorite horror movie? Leave it in the comments. Now, let's go.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. If you haven't already seen it, we did a part 1 to this video, and I'm sure you can find it quite easily. It's just over there somewhere. Unless you're in theater mode, then it's down there. See, I'm hip. I'm good with the tech. So without further ado, let's get into our list. I'm Taylor McWaters, and here are our top 5 horror movie monsters you won't see coming, part 2. Number 5, Jason Voorhees. We've seen this landmark villain numerous times over the years. Hell, we've even seen him in space in Jason X. No matter where the guy goes, trouble follows. He's the main antagonist in the popular Friday the 13th franchise. Born in the small town of Crystal Lake, Jason Voorhees went with his mom to Crystal Lake after she had gotten hired as a cook. So the campers decided it's a cool idea to bully Jason and toss him into the lake, despite him not being the strongest of swimmers at all. The counselors could have saved him. They were too busy getting it on in the woods instead. Yeah, the woods, you know, where mosquitoes live. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of mosquitoes? They're great. You're gonna love them.
They're horrible.
So Jason ended up drowning. Yikes. But decades later, Jason's mom, Pamela, returns to the now reopened Crystal Lake camp and gets her long-awaited revenge on the negligent counselors. The final counselor, Alice, ends up taking...
Great movies, by the way. Except for Jason X in Space. Nah, I'm not going with that one.
hold of the machete and decapitates Pamela. But bam! Then Friday the 13th part 2, Jason comes back from the dead, spoilers, and all hell breaks loose. He finds Alice and ends her with an ice pick. Cool choice of weapon, weirdo. This guy's terrifying. Like, he doesn't talk, he just walks towards you slowly, kind of like the entity from It Follows, which we talked about in...
What would you do if you saw Jason coming after you? My bad, that's what... He's faster than me. I'm fucked.
Part 1. Just go watch it, come on. I also love this guy because he doesn't die. The amount of movies they've made, just give it up. You can't beat him. He looks like a human, but he's a straight up monster. Since Friday the 13th part 6, the filmmakers decided, you know what, let's make it official, let's give him superhuman powers. Kind of like Deadpool, but with much less quips. This dude's nuts, like he'll use random objects in his vicinity to kill you. Or if he has no weapons at all, he'll just punch the shit out of you. And Jason Takes Manhattan, he straight up punches a guy's head off. He literally punches the guy's head off of his body. And then in Jason X, he puts Adrian's head in freezing liquid nitrogen. As if that wasn't bad enough already, he breaks her frozen head off the table. What an odd find that would be. Hey, did someone drop some frozen strawberries? They look a little bit old. It's disgusting. The only other monster that could hold up against him would be none other than, you guessed it, number 4, Freddy Krueger. So before going head to head in Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy Krueger was the other main horror icon for most of us growing up. Being able to hurt you in your dreams, I mean, the creators really...
Amazing movies. Amazing. Freddy, I would have put him at, I don't know.
We went a smart route and planted the seed in all of our brains so that we were constantly thinking about him even after the movie ends, especially at night when you're sleeping. Him being Robert Englund, of course, the actor who took Freddy to another level, he's amazing. The premise was smart enough to last for 9 feature films. He can kill you in your sleep, his abilities allow him to chase you down and haunt your nightmares, controlling how you die in them. Yeah, he can enter your dream and then make you think you're just sitting in school, hanging out, chewing some bubblegum, and then all of a sudden your supply teacher turns into macaroni and then Freddy kicks the door in. You're like, cool, guess I'm dreaming, sick. So before he wreaked havoc in your nightmares, he had a pretty rough upbringing. Bullied constantly growing up because his mom worked in an asylum full of crazy people. So eventually, once he became an adult, he took revenge on the kids that did him dirty. Those kids had also grown up having children of their own for him to go after and kill. Freddy was then deemed the Springwood Slasher, cool nickname, SS, all aboard the SS Nightmare. I don't know. Using fish knives attached to a glove, he gets it done. So after killing 20 kids, you would think that's the end of it. Wrong. The arrest warrant was signed in the wrong place, that plus a judge who was hammered. He didn't even end up serving time. So the pissed off parents were like, you know what, let's go get this guy. They oiled this place up, so they gassed this place up and burned it down. And while dying, Freddy was visited by dream demons with the offer of a lifetime to continue the killings, but just in your dreams, with real life consequences. Awesome, sounds like the deal of a lifetime. And it was the first thing I can recall that actually gave me nightmares, so the writers and Robert Englund clearly did their job very well. Number 3, Valak, The Conjuring 2. Okay, I saw this movie in theaters alone, like a psychopath. My friends were too afraid to go, so I was like, heck 'em, I don't need you guys. I got there and the theater was empty, so I sat in the very back corner, threw my hood up, and then I saw this. Yeah, this movie scared the shit out of me, for obvious reasons. I think The Conjuring 2 might be my favorite horror movie. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the mix of demons sprinkled into that house. It's kind of overwhelming, but in a great way. And most notably, the main antagonist, Valak. So where does this...
It was a scary movie, but I wouldn't call it that scary, but it was scary.
Ghost nun come from? Who is she? Well, in the prequel, simply titled The Nun, a duke in Romania summoned a demonic force centuries ago, and the Vatican members trapped it with the blood of Christ. Nice, and they sealed it off forever. That is until World War II came around and knocked the place around a bit, freeing the demon, taking on the form of a nun. The prequel isn't as good as I wanted. I feel like the parts that had Valak in The Conjuring 2 were perfect. They didn't show too much, they didn't show too little. Plus with the other demons in the house, it wasn't the sole center of attention. So when she did appear, you almost forgot about her. It was surprising. But the prequel just feels like the producers were like, did you like that part? Cool, we'll just do more of that for an hour and a half. It's fine. It's fine. Her abilities are pretty wild. She has demonic powers, obviously. She can shapeshift, and she knows how to intimidate people, which is like the scariest part. In the movie The Nun, you can see her just standing and being all weird and creepy. And then a second later, she's gone. I didn't know demons had amazing
Nuns are just plain out creepy anyways. They're not innocent. They say they're innocent. They don't do this. They don't do that. If you're bad and you're a kid, you get your ass whooped. Come on. Nuns are just corrupted as we are. Us regular folks. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion.
timing like that. Oh my god. I'd be pretty thrown off too. That's a scary nun. Number 2, Mara. I've only ever experienced sleep paralysis once.
Okay, I'd never seen this movie. I didn't even heard of it. So this is going to be a spoiler for me. God. I'll forget by then.
And thankfully, that's enough for me. It's not a pleasant experience. Your body still thinks you're asleep, so you lose the ability to move, but your eyes are open because you're half awake. And I say half because you can still see things from your dream, or rather your nightmare, just hanging out in your room. And cue the panic. So this movie hits a bit close to home when I saw it. The movie starts with a young girl named Sophie who wakes up to the sound of her mom, Helena, screaming in her parents' room. Once Sophie checked out the situation, she saw her mom in agony as her father lied in their bed, all mangled up and dead. That kind of rhymed. It's quite the...
Well, anybody in the right state of mind sees a dead body is going to freak out. Especially if it's a loved one or a spouse. Like if I lost my wife, I'd be... I can't imagine that. Nope. No. If I lost my wife or my kids, I don't think I don't want to be around no more. Uh-oh. How did that happen?
Kurilenko comes in to evaluate. Father lied in their bed, all mangled up and dead. That kind of rhymed. It's quite the scene, so of course they pin the crime on her mom, and a criminal psychologist, Kate, played by Olga Kurilenko, comes in to evaluate and decide if the mother should go to a mental institute or not. She says that she didn't kill her husband and that he was in fact killed by a sleep demon. So Kate tells the young daughter that if she just goes on...
You know, actually, just slow down, people. Slow it down. I've heard about sleep demons. Not once, not twice. Many a times. You can look it up on YouTube. They're out there. And apparently they're real. So check it out.
Record makes a statement her mom won't be put away because the kids saw most of the things, right? She's a witness. So she makes a statement and then she ends up going away anyways. Not cool, Olga. Kate, of course, felt tremendous guilt from this. Remember that. Guilt. Got it? Good. The next night, Kate sees the sleep paralysis demon named Mara herself. This particular demon is also known as the Old Hag up here in Canada. You know, I feel like if we stopped calling her the Old Hag...
You know, I've heard about this Old Hag too many damn times. It's in Canada, it's in North Carolina, it's in Tennessee, South... Apparently it must be everywhere. This Old Hag. Let me know if you heard about the Old Hag. I hear about it everywhere.
She might just chill out. Just an idea, guys. So what's Mara's game plan? How does she get it done? Well, it's broken down into stages, kind of like our world now. Stage 1, you're paralyzed and you see her. Terrifying. Stage 2, she marks you by making your eye red. I guess she farts on your pillow or something. I don't know. Not sure how that one works. Stage 3, she grabs your neck in your sleep. And finally, stage 4, you see her in your waking world. Then after that, you better not fall asleep or you're done, mister. If you want to see her in action, make sure you catch the movie Mara this spooky season. And lastly, number 1, death itself, Final Destination. That's right, I went all bold and meta.
That was a great movie. And because of that movie, if there's a log truck in front of me, I will move over. And I'm sure there's many of you that moves over.
This one, and I chose death as a monster. What's up? I'm hip. I'm trying to mix it up here, okay? Leave me alone. One of the biggest game changers was the first Final Destination, released in 2000. The film follows a group of students who are on their way to Paris when Alex Browning, played by Devon Sawa, Stan himself, has a premonition of the plane going down, killing all the passengers, including his fellow classmates. So when he wakes up from the violent premonition, he's faced with the challenge of convincing everybody to get off the plane. Only a handful heed Alex's warning. Then the inevitable happens. The plane goes down in the exact same way that Alex has seen. So death has some spots that he needs to fill. Alex came in and took some souls from him. Now he's coming back to get him again, one by one. Again, this is one of those premises that can go on forever, like Saw or Friday the 13th. It's one of those concepts that doesn't really expire, as long as you do them well. You never see death in these films, but you can see glimpses of it around the room. Whether it's a cool breeze that pushes a door closed, locking girls in tanning beds, or simply just a series of random coincidences that lead to a tragic accident killing one of the students horribly. These movies use anticipation as its main tool for the fear factor. Slowly but surely, Alex realizes that all of these tragic deaths are happening in the same order that they were killed in the first premonition. So we see our lead able to get a jump on the pattern and rush to save the next classmate in death's line. For a movie series that is basically just writers thinking of horrible ways for people to die, Final Destination movies are quite enjoyable. As weird as that sounds. At least the first 3. Those are the classics, you know? And the best part is that the audience can see these little things accumulate one by one to get to that weird, random, tragic death. But the classmate being stalked by death usually has no idea. And so the film kind of teases you a bit. It'll show a guy with his hand stuck in a garbage disposal while his apartment's burning down, and then finally, once he's free, he like slips on spaghetti or something that he did earlier, and then bam, he gets killed by a ladder. The ladder goes in his face. It's really disgusting. Check it out. Unexpected gory fun for the whole family, guaranteed. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are our top 5 movie monsters that you won't see coming, part 2. So make sure you comment down below which ones we missed, and then we can throw them in part 3. It's that easy. Until then, make sure you subscribe.
Well, you missed a lot. Well, you kind of seen those coming because they're... Come on now. I thought it was good. I thought it was alright. I thought it was entertaining. But until next time, peace out.